If your ink's too slow and your nib won't flow, here's one of the places that you can go. Larry is here to see you through with Mr. Announcer and Cubby too. It's Larry's Fountain Pen Reviews.
When you're ready. Okay, I got it right here, and I'm going to welcome you. Hello, Rachel. Welcome to my Zoom Pen Hangout, and everybody, for the first time ever in the history of the world, of the universe, the one and only, the delightful, the knowledgeable, the Miss Pen Maker, the one and only Jim Hinze, Pens or Company, niece. Rachel!
Hello.
Hi, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. And how's Uncle Jimmy doing?
He's good. He's grumpy, but he's good.
Well, then he's good. If he's grumpy, he's good. It's when he starts being nice. Watch it. Okay. So,
when he's being nice, I run away.
Okay, we're going to get started here. So, what even made you get interested in fountain pens?
Honestly, he had offered a couple of times for me to come part-time on the weekends to start polishing or doing something, because I had a day job at the time. I was a phlebotomist for 3 years. And finally I was like, okay, I have nothing better to do. Let me go hang out with my Uncle Jimmy and go polish. And when I got here, he said, you're not going to polish, you're going to learn how to make pens. I was like, okay, fat chance, but let's try this. I'm gonna break something, you're gonna get mad, we're gonna move on. And I fell in love with it. And I actually ended up quitting my job within 2 days of starting. So yeah, then I just showed up at his door with all my stuff and said, hey, I'm moving in and working full-time, so hello.
Well, let me ask you this now. Were you meeting all of Jim's expectations? Was there a lot of frustration, a lot of demands, a lot of stress? What?
I think more than anything, I was excited. And, you know, I've never stepped foot in a machine shop. I didn't know what a lathe was before I started. I didn't know how to do anything. And I think just the first day or two, I just fell in love with it. And I think the passion kind of fed into me getting better and better and wanting to learn more. And that's all he ever really wanted, was somebody to have passion for it. He can teach me anything, but he can't teach passion. Nobody can teach that. So whatever, like, it was, he was gonna keep trying. I mean, I've broken my lathe like 4 times, I think, in the first 3 or 4 months of working here. I broke my lathe. I actually shredded a gear on my lathe 4 separate times. So I definitely didn't have a talent for it immediately, but.
Is there a lot of stress or demand from Jim?
There is, in the sense that the business is growing really quickly. We've gotten a lot of opportunities this year that were unforeseeable last year. It was a lot of stuff that we didn't even think was in our realm of possibility, like getting into Atlas stationers. Like, that was haha in your dreams, whatever, and now we're in it. You know, now we're doing a restock. So as the company's grown really fast, I've also grown with it just as fast.
So when it comes down, you're going to make a pen. So who's going to choose the design? Who's from the start to the finish on this pen?
It depends. So if it's, I mean, Elise has her own, you know, Starry Night resins now, and so a lot of times she'll say, oh, here, just turn these down. And if it's maker's choice, it's maker's choice. So I get to do whatever I want to. And those are my favorite because I like to play. And I love to play with her resins. But if it's for like a specific collab, typically he's the one in these business meetings. He's the one talking to the people that want it. Like the Dromgold stuff, he was the one talking to Dromgolds. So he made the prototype, and then from there, I'll go and make however many they want.
How long have you been with Jim actually making on hands with the pens from start to finish?
Since November of last year, so almost a year.
Can Jim be a little hard on you since you are his niece? You know, relatives tend to be hard on each other because they expect 100%, 100,000%. Is that true in your basis?
He can come off a little tough, but a lot of it is out of love. Like, you have to understand, this business is his baby. You know, he's built it from start. So as long as I came in with the respect of, I'm not going to disappoint you. Like, I'm a very, I don't like to disappoint people, and I don't like to fail. A lot of times I don't do stuff if I'm not good at it.
Okay.
So a lot of late nights with me working, perfecting, whatever, a lot of making mistakes and trying to figure out how to fix it before he knew about it. There's a lot of stuff that I still break that he doesn't know about, and I just try to cover it up and fix it and move on. And
now he'll know.
Yep.
he's not going to watch it. It'll be fine.
How does the quality control go with y'all back there? Are you checking each pen or every other pen, or does Jim check them, or what?
Every single pen we check. We've had a little bit of issues in the past of some of the bodies not being drilled deep enough so the converters won't fit. If the cap isn't drilled deep enough, you know, the nib will bend. It'll hit the nib will hit the top of the cap, and that'll bend. Yovo did, they tweaked with the size of their housings. And so we had to find that one out the hard day and last minute change a drill bit and end up going through literally our entire inventory the night before a show and tweaking sections. That was a madhouse of a night. But we really do check every pen, because the last thing that we want, and the emails that I dread the most are, I need to send you this pen back because whatever. So it really, like, I'll look over it when I finish it, and then it'll get looked over again after it's done polishing. And then, you know, Jimmy packs all of our stuff, so he double checks everything before it's packed and shipped. So it's as many eyes can get on the pen before it leaves.
Now, what all do you do at the shop? You make the pens. Do you do the pouring for the colors? Do you do the ordering for what you need, supplies, what?
I can pour resin, not very well, and obviously it's kind of hard to wiggle in there when you have I have Mama Elise at my disposal. Why do I need to touch resin? She's got it. So I unmold resin from the molds after they're done curing. I'll make the pens. I do polishing if it needs to be done. A lot of times if we need certain stuff from like Divine Island, new blanks or whatever, I have ordered some of that stuff before, or I'll go on Mackenzie's website and just make a list of stuff that I want, stuff that we need, mainly stuff that I want, and then just give him a list and be like, okay, we need all this. So a little bit of everything.
Okay, so are you taking orders for you to make custom pens for people that are interested, or are they only for Hinze company?
I take orders through Hinze, so I'm one hand in the entire body of a company. That's, you know, if I was in this for myself, I mean, there's been plenty of people that have learned from Jim and gone out and made their own business. That's not what I want. Hinze is you know, an amazing company, and we're building and we're growing, and I just want to be a part of that. I'm really not looking into it like, yeah, it's cool. There's a woman, you know, turning pens, and that's amazing. And I'm glad that I'm a part of that community, because that community is really, really small. But at the end of the day, I work for my uncle, and that's, you know, that's where I want to be.
So, can people order a certain pen that you made, or can they ask for you to make a certain pen rather, that they want to come from you? I know it goes through your uncle, but still, are you the ones that are going to have the hands on actually creating the pen?
They can, absolutely. There's always special instructions. When you're ordering on the website, you can ask for special instructions. And if you ask me to make the pen, I will be the only one that touches that pen. I'm all for that. It's just not something that it's not something that people typically request.
At one time, back in either 2015, 2016, because I've been with your dad ever since. I'm your uncle, duh. Okay, so I remember Jim used to get so many orders for certain custom pens, and then, you know, he'd let me know, and I would tell him in a video that, and he would tell him as well, it would take either 5, 6 months, maybe up to a year, because he's bogged down already with making pens. And there was only him, just him making it. And he was trying to get ready for a show. And I mean, he'd be up 2 in the morning, or he'll stay up to 2, 3, 4 in the morning, time to go to work, you know? So
yeah.
Do you think you'll ever have that problem of keeping up with the volume?
I hope not. I mean, obviously, I would love to get that overpacked with orders, but we did that huge, I think it was 50% off sale, and we were not prepared for what happened. That was the biggest rush of orders that I've seen, and I think, honestly, that he's seen. But I mean, we've got 3 hands in the shop. We've got me, Jim, obviously, and then we've got Ray. And between the 3 of us, we can knock out pens like nobody's business.
So how do you get along with the rest of the staff?
Good. We're such a small company that we can't handle drama. Like, there's 4. Okay, there's 4 of us. We've had little tiffs in the past, as everybody does, but it's nothing that we haven't gotten over. Ray comes over twice a week and works here, so we kick it up in the shop and laugh a lot. Yelling over lays, a lot of times we're getting texts from Jim from up here going, "What are y'all yelling about?" And it's typically something.
No, me and Mr. Announcer and I will be out there before Christmas, either November or December, and we'll be doing a video of y'all in the workshop.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's gonna be
dressed in your pretty little jeans and stuff like that. Yeah, nice and dirty. So yeah, so that's gonna be all fun. You know, that's gonna be a lot of fun. Want to see you doing your thing. So, let me ask you a question real quick. I think the hottest pen on the market right now, as far as I know, would be the rainbow pen. Everybody's doing a rainbow pen. Everybody. It's like rainbow here, rainbow there. Are you planning on doing a rainbow pen? And if you're not, and if somebody asks, can you make a rainbow pen? Which they've asked before. I'm going to kind of pin you down and ask you.
Yeah, Elise has her, what she calls bougie ombre. And that's the rainbow. That's a rainbow ombre pen, and we've got those here. If they get ordered, we can make them. Also, like, we're a completely custom pen company, so if you request a rainbow pen, I'll make you a rainbow pen.
All right. Well, there's your answer, folks. Straight from the horse's mouth, and she'll do it too, for real. Now, since I met Rachel, really pleasant. She has the enthusiasm that is going to take her where she needs to go. She has the ability, the know-how. she has a good heart, and she's an honest person. She loves what she does. She loves her uncle, and she wants to make her uncle proud. And what can make her uncle proud than being a top-notch pen maker, right? So that's how I would describe you, Rachel.
That's a lot of compliments that I don't know if I deserve, but I appreciate it.
So, on the nibs, are you going to be able to do whatever nib they need?
Yeah, I can electroplate. I'm not great at it. But I've done it in the past. I pitched in during the Esterbrook's, a lot of the Esterbrook plating that we did. I did some of those, and I'll do some show plating every once in a while.
Okay. What time do you start work and what time do you get off work?
I typically start anywhere between like noon and 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'll end at like 2 o'clock in the morning on a good day. Sometimes I dip out at 1, but nobody knows.
Wow. Huh. So
I love
do you go are you able to go on the pen shows with the gym?
I do. I've been to 3 this year, and I love them. I absolutely love them. I understand that I can't go to a lot because traveling is outrageously expensive these days, but any chance I get, I'm going to a pen show. I love seeing people. I love meeting other makers. It's a good time.
Now, you know, they've been talking about, and everybody has as a whole, about pens would be a bit higher this year. And, you know, yeah, I've seen it on Edison pens for one. I think what they're $10 or so. Do y'all have any plans of having to up any on the price, or are you set for right now and just do it as needed?
You know, I have my own opinions on that, but I don't run the company, so I don't know what their plans are. I really don't. You know, Jimmy has always been a very humble person about who he is and what he does. From the more engulfed that I get into the pen community, the more that I see how many people really do look up to him. So I think in the future we could definitely start charging more, but as of right now, I don't see us doing too much. I think the attraction to our company is that we are on the lower side, and you like of the custom makers price wise, and you are getting such a good quality pen.
Do you work on weekend?
I do. I work almost 7 days a week.
Yeah, I can believe that. Yep.
Companies weren't built with people working 9 to 5. They will never be.
Go ahead.
I live here and I work here, and whatever needs to be done, I'm there.
Do you have any expectations of any new pen being created this year? If you can elaborate on that.
You know, there's some stuff that I just can't. And I had a whole conversation with Jimmy before I started this about all the things that I couldn't talk about. But we've got some stuff coming up. We've got a lot of stuff coming up, and it's going to be very, very exciting. Atlas, we're in Atlas Stationers now, and actually they did a restock order within a week of them going live with our pens. And then they added 3 more of our pens to their website. So we're in the process of making those pens right now. So that'll be really exciting. I'm excited to see where that goes. And then we just launched those 35 pens with drongles, the Nordic Woods. And those were a big hit at the show, at the Dallas show. We got a lot of good traction from those.
So we got you making pens, then we got 2 more folks back there making pens, or the 3. and which I will be interviewing later. But are you all doing one for each of you, and then you do another, or is there like it goes to one person, then the next person, then the next person? How do you all work that out?
It depends. So on the Pen World project that we did, I made all the bodies for the pen. Jim made all the sections. Ray made all the caps. We had to get those done within we had to get those done in 3 days. It was 40 pens, I believe, somewhere around there. And we had to get 40 pens done in 3 days. And that is so much easier to do when everybody's working on their own piece. But on a day-to-day basis, right now I've got 8 pens in the works.
Mhm.
So we'll typically work between 5 to 10 pins at a time, and we'll make them start to finish, and then we'll send them to either Natalie or whoever's around to do polishing.
Larry, did we lose you?
Maybe.
Okay. You heard it?
Yeah. Okay, are we frozen?
No, just hadn't heard anything for a little while. We hear you now.
Okay. Rachel, can you hear me?
I can.
That last one, was I froze up and you couldn't hear me?
Maybe. Did I freeze? I don't know.
Okay,
know.
but I said when you go on a pen show, do you put everything on the plane by a suitcase? How do you get from point A to point B with all your pens?
They go in a pen case. Typically it's a carry-on. So somebody's always got a hand on the pens.
Okay. About how many pens do you take with you to your pen show?
Whatever we have available. I know when he first started, it was somewhere between 20 pens to 75, and now we take upwards of 200 to shows if we can.
So before I turn you over to the folks that might want to interact with you for a bit, is there anything you want to add?
I don't know. This is all new for me. I'm just excited to be here. This is weird that somebody wants to talk to me. I'm just here.
I'm going to open it up. Are you ready, Rachel?
Go for it.
Oh, I've got a
Frank, go ahead.
question. Do you have any regrets? Any regrets with moving into the pen world?
Oh. You know, I took a pretty big pay cut. But I mean, I live where I work and I sleep until noon. I'm living the 22-year-old dream. Any little regrets that I have, it's being paid back. I mean, I have Mama Elise to cook for me every night.
Wow.
That woman can cook.
Huh.
Any little regrets that I have or reservations have all been, there's so many pros. I mean, I struggled a lot with mental health, and I still do. And being in this environment and doing something that I love and not having to put on a shiny customer service face every day, you know, it has done wonders for my health and my stability. And so honestly, money doesn't buy happiness, but maybe a pen does.
Well, good. We're glad to hear that. I know that Jim has gone to some of the Turner's conventions and the Turner's workshops. Have you gone along with him on any of those?
I haven't. I want to go so bad. There's one that's coming up, and I keep begging him to take me with him. But with all that going on, like Elise's priority right now when stuff like that comes up. So like she's launching her Starry Night. She's got to be there. Jim has to be there. I don't have like I'm making a name for myself, but I'm not there yet, you know. So hopefully in the future, fingers crossed. I would go to every event, every show, every Turner's convention if I could. I really would. I absolutely love it.
Oh, good. So who else has a question?
It's the time. It's open.
So when are you gonna have my rainbow pen done?
Whenever I have time to do it. My goodness. There's is there an order for it? Does Jim know that we're doing this?
Well, don't just do something, stand there. If Christmas is around the corner, I'd like to have it by then at least. I'm just kidding.
Does Jim know this is happening? If he knows this is happening, like I get fed secondhand information through him. You can
Okay,
go
well,
yell at
I'm gonna tell you this. You tell him he's got till Christmas, because otherwise I'm gonna have to go take my pennies and buy a $400 pen that I could have for $200.
Well, and depending on where it's at, it might be better quality coming from over here.
That's what I'm saying. I want to get it from you guys if I know I'm going to be spending my money on good people. But if it's not going to be here by Christmas, I'm afraid my pennies are just going to wither out of my pocket somewhere.
I will give him the warning for you. I don't know how much it'll do. He tends to forget every time he goes to sleep.
Tell Elise, please, 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 please.
She'll be on here next month. You can do this whole spiel next month because I'm sure it won't be.
I'll have to get down on a knee or something.
Do it. So look, begging is the only way to get stuff done around here.
Yeah,
That's how I had to learn.
I've got a year and a half without an oven. I know all about begging.
Will,
Thank
did
you
you have a
for
question?
all you do.
Will,
Yeah, hey Rachel, it's exciting to see your passion for pens. That's awesome, man. You're going to be a fine entrepreneur, and sounds to me like you got a good work ethic. That shift you are working I worked that shift for years as a machinist and millwright mechanic. So the only thing I can tell you from one machinist to another, so to speak, is when you spin them threads, spin them true, and they'll always work for you.
I'm trying. It's not easy by any means.
Oh
but
yeah, I understand.
It's fun.
anybody next? It's the time to do it. We got her on the hot chair. She can't squeeze out of it.
What pen is your favorite right now? I mean, for writing with, what's your favorite pen?
For writing with? So glad you asked. Hold on. Okay, so here's my biggest problem. I told myself that I wasn't gonna get into pen collecting. I told myself, I was like, these people are crazy for spending so much money on pens. I will happily make them for y'all, but I don't know what y'all are doing.
My friend Friedrich was like, here, have this nice briefcase. And then, oops, this happened.
Yep. Mine only holds 5, and I thought that this was gonna be way too big when I bought it, and now I've like got spillover, and I don't know what to do.
You need yourself one of those cases. 63 pen cases. That's where it's at.
No.
I've got 3 of them now.
Let me think. The one that I use most often is like this guy. This was the first pen that I ever made, which is
What?
not awful. Don't look at it too close.
Oh, that's
But
good.
this is my shop pen.
That's great. What ink is in there right now?
Lord only knows, whatever I found on that shelf.
Well, I don't know if you know this or not, but like I'm the ink master. Like I do an ink review every day on my channel, so I'm always curious to know what people are what people are using in their ink
I
devices.
just got one from the Dallas show. It's by Platinum, I think is the brand,
Oh, nice.
and it's forest black, and it's in
Oh, yeah.
my new child. This is a narwhal, one of the narwhal pens.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, I love it. So that's what's in this pen. Other than that, I float around on whatever's on that shelf.
Oh,
I'm staring at all my pens. I haven't had them all in the same place in so long. They just spread out everywhere.
what's your
Some of the
favorite ink?
shops.
What's your favorite ink right now?
That forest black one. I'm in a green phase right now, and I'm digging it up. It's such the perfect shade of green to fit this pen. I don't know if you can tell all that well, but it's a
Yeah,
green
it's kind of striped, like.
yeah, it's that green ebonite, but it's got a lot of black in it,
That's
which I
cool.
like. And then this one, this is Elisa's Falling in Love. We just polished this one.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I'm obsessed. She thinks that she was like, take it up there and show it. And I was like, okay, but it's not coming back downstairs, just so you know. I just float away with some stuff sometimes.
Yeah.
Like I stole one of her 5 o'clocks too. I told him, I said, if this comes back from the show, it's disappearing. I don't know if anybody heard me, but nobody's asked about it.
That's great.
Rachel, what size nib do you use? A medium, broad, fine, extra fine?
I teeter between fine and mediums, although I'm starting to learn how to do some calligraphy and stuff. So I've been going more towards broad. I have horrible handwriting. Look, somebody had to do something about it. Okay, I was homeschooled. I have chicken scratch. My mom told me that I should have been a doctor because nobody can read my handwriting.
Me too. Then I became a doctor. And then a week after I got my pad, we all went digital. So.
Yeah. You know, I got into phlebotomy, and that was as far as I could go. Some people have the touch for being able to handle people in crisis.
No.
Not me.
No.
Not me. You know,
It's not for everyone.
it was tough. My mom was like, you'd be so good at it. And I was like, you know what? Like, for all intents and purposes, I was a wonderful phlebotomist if you didn't talk to me. I could hit a vein like nobody else, but the people part of the job I just couldn't do. And I got into a really bad doctor's office too that was doing a lot of messed up stuff, and I couldn't do it.
We won't talk about those things here.
No. I won't go into detail. I won't go into detail. But stuff like that really drives you away from the medical community, unfortunately. So going from that to this was a total mind flip. It was crazy.
Good job.
Anybody else? You're on
Well,
mute, Will.
Do what makes you happy, and you'll never work a day in your life.
That's right.
I'm trying, but this job still feels like work sometimes, man. Somebody needs to tell me the secret. Honestly though, like on those days that I just don't want to get up and go to work, I find like a movie or something that I want to watch, and I'll put it on my little phone holder, and I'll watch my movie and just try to zone out and get something done that day. But that's the nice thing about this job, is that I can work whenever, you know, whenever, doing whatever, listening to what I want. There are days that I walk out of my room and Jimmy will just look at me, and I'm like, I'm not doing people today. I'm like, okay, earbuds in, don't talk to Rachel today. We all have those times.
Anybody else?
Rachel, I'm really curious why you, you know, sure, we don't all work 9 to 5 for sure, but I'm really curious why you start at like 2 p.m. and go to 2 a.m.
You know how peaceful it is at night when everybody's asleep? It is so nice. It really is. And you know, I love Jimmy so much, but that man will text me about 5 or 6 times a day, just saying, hey, can you run up here and bring this? Hey, can you go do this? Natalie, my little sister is what I call her. She's my cousin, but she's got dance and school and all this stuff going on during the day. And, everybody pitches in and we all go get her and do grocery runs if we need to. Run up to Elliot's has become my play shop. So I'll go up there. And I really found that I wasn't being productive. I was working and I was trying to get stuff done, but every time I got into the flow of things, I need to go do something, or the dogs would start barking and I need to go let them outside or whatever. And so I really just switched it to where I'd work half of the day with people around and everything, and then when everybody goes to sleep, I'll work my other half of the day so that I'm being able to put my head down and be productive and actually get work done.
But no machinery going at 12 midnight, eh?
No, I shut the door to the garage. I mean, you have to understand, like, Jimmy sleeps maybe 2-3 hours a night. So if I'm not awake, he is. There's always a lathe going in this house. Either you learn to sleep through it or you take strong medication and sleep through it anyway. Like, what are you gonna do? It's really not as loud as you would think it would be. It's more of a white noise at some point. So the only thing that gets annoying is when the air compressor goes off in the middle of the night and scares the absolute crap out of me. That it'll go off at the worst times too, because I like paranormal stuff, so I'll be watching something scary. The number of times I'm almost peed myself from an air compressor going off.
Okay.
We've got a polishing lathe in the living room. So if anything, I'm sitting on the couch polishing.
Anyone else? Well, real quick, are you having any problems when you ship out pins? Are they arriving on time, as scheduled? Are they having problems with the post office still?
As far as I know, everything's been pretty smooth. We switched over to doing mainly UPS. Although I heard from somebody that they're going on strike in a few days, so I don't know how that's gonna work. But there's only so much we can do. I make my UPS run. I watch them scan in the packages. Everybody at the UPS store knows me now, whether they like it or not. I think they save all the new guys for me, because I'll walk in with like 10 packages that you have to scan in different spots and throw them into the deep end. I walked in there the other day and he was like, just one? I was like, yes, just one today. Okay, I'm trying to go. Please just scan my package and let me leave.
Do y'all plan on hiring any more people?
I don't know. I would like to. I think it would be good for the company in the long run, but it's kind of an odd job. It's not something that we can just go pull, any 16-year-old off the street and start training them how to do. At the end of the day, whoever we hire, we're bringing them into our house. And that's a big thing. And, like this really is a family business. So if somebody in my family wanted to learn, absolutely teach them. They can come work part-time, do whatever. But Jimmy's been trying to get somebody from my family to work forever, and I was the first one to bite, and nobody else has yet. But maybe after I make it big, they'll be jealous and want to come work. Who knows?
Did you come to Jim, or did Jim go to you to ask for the job?
He had been offering the job to my brother actually for a while. I've got a brother that's 2 years older than me. So he had been talking to Ryan a lot about it. And I was like, why don't you go over to Uncle Jimmy's? And finally I just listened to myself and went over there myself. And now Ryan has lost an opportunity.
And that was it. You got it.
That was it. Yep.
How was it? How was it your very first day? What did he show you?
My first day was awful. My first day, we have like this 90-degree wood panel that we use to cut the blanks on the bandsaw, and I cut right through it. I didn't stop.
Ooh.
After I,
Oh,
yeah, he was yelling. He was like, "What? No, stop." And I was like, oh, holding 2 pieces of wood that I wasn't supposed to. And he was like, okay, well, now you get to do it without it. Okay. And you have to, like I said, I didn't even know what a lathe was when I started working. So it was a rough day. It was a rough day. It was a long day. At the end of it, somehow this came out of it. But I don't know. Apparently it wasn't that rough. I came back at least. You know? But
if you don't mind, this is for you. Tell everybody one of your most horrible pin stories that happened at the pin shop there where you work. It should be interesting.
my biggest mess up.
Yeah, where everybody, it was just catastrophic, where you just freaked out. Oh, this is horrible. This is bad. I ruined it. Whatever.
Oh, okay, well now Jimmy definitely can't watch this. Oh,
There's a beer. Get your popcorn.
a lot of my biggest mistakes happen when I try to do a shortcut. And I don't think about the technical part of what I'm doing, and I go, this will be easy. So I was making an Avancio. I was doing my threads by hand. And I needed to do a relief cut, basically, and trim down the blank so that I could see a little bit better and I could, make it work. And I decided really smartly that I was just gonna engage my lead screw when it was set for threading. So it's set to go. It was set to go basically a very long distance over a short amount of time, and so I flipped it to engage my lead screw, and it like shot through and almost crashed into my collet. I stopped it, but that pin was no more. It shattered into about 8 pieces. And there might have been a big scream, but it's fine. He asked what happened, and I said, oh, nothing, I dropped something, and we moved on.
Lessons learned.
Lessons learned.
Have any orders ever got lost?
We had one that UPS lost, actually, which was annoying because that was, of course, it always happens when you don't have any more blanks of that one resin, and so UPS lost it, and we had to order the blank. I can't remember who it was from. We had to order it at the last minute, make it within like a day, and ship it back out. And then over the sale that we did, me and Jimmy both like went crazy because we were doing inventory for the website at the time, taking new pictures, organizing, and trying to get everything in line for the sale. And so we had pens everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And for 2 weeks, we thought that we were missing over half of our pens. And then when we went to go put everything together for the sale, because we couldn't find 50% of the pens that were that had sold in this sale that we were supposed to ship out within a matter of days. We couldn't find them. We had no idea where they were. And finally, we put all of them together, counted them out, and we were like, okay, no, this is all of our pens. And we about had a fit. I don't know what we were doing that day, but we thought we had lost half of our inventory. And that was really stressful.
Okay.
A lot of times, if we lost a pen, it's in Jimmy's pocket. Because he picks it up and sticks it in his pocket and forgets about it. He'll be like, where did that body go that I just laid down? And I'm like, you didn't lay it down. You put it in your left pocket. And he's like, no, I didn't. I just checked it. And reaches in his pocket and pulls out the body.
Well, that brings up a question. Has he ever washed in the laundry any of the pens that y'all are making?
No, because Elise checks his pockets. We all know better by this point. I'm like, honestly, I'm part-time pen maker, part-time niece, part-time Jimmy manager. During the day, couldn't try to keep him on track.
Is he a little bit ADHD?
No, he's just got a lot going on. Between his day job, between, you know, meetings, like Hinze Pens meetings, his regular meetings, stuff that we have to talk about, stuff that needs to get done, trying to get Starry Night resins up and running. Like, there's a reason he only sleeps 3 hours a night, you know? So he's just very scatterbrained. But that's why I'm here. I try to be the other half of his brain sometimes. It doesn't always work, but I scared him the other day because he was walking out the door, and we all wear wireless earbuds, and he had taken them out of his ears and put them down somewhere and had no idea where he put them. And my favorite thing to do is go think like Jimmy, and I typically find whatever he's looking for in about 5 minutes, and which is exactly what I did. And he just shakes his head every time I find something that he's been looking for hours. He doesn't know how I do it. I don't know how I do it.
Anybody?
So this is Liz.
Hi, Liz.
Hi.
Hi, Rachel. I came in late. Sorry, I had an appointment. So I know I'm coming in late, and you probably already said this, but how long have you been helping Jim make pens as a pen maker?
For about a year. So since last
Oh,
November.
good. Okay, that's great. Is it something that you do full time?
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I live here, work here, eat here.
Oh, that's great.
Hey, Rachel, do you have to do any household duties around there, like cook meals and do dishes and vacuum and all that other stuff?
My dish nights are on Thursday. I was very upset about it last night because I forgot that it was Thursday, and I walked into the kitchen and I was like, dang. And then my laundry day is on Wednesdays. There's 6 of us that live in this house. We have to have a schedule, okay? Otherwise, nothing gets done, and everybody's mad because we all have dirty laundry, and somebody's laundry is in the dryer, and that is a daily argument in this house. Who has the laundry? Who's taking up the washing machine? It's my laundry day. That is the daily argument.
So who does the cooking?
Mama Elise.
That's nice.
Oh, it's so nice. I won't invite anybody over here. Nobody gets to taste her cooking except for me. There's a reason I didn't leave. Nobody else needs to taste any of this. I grew up, my parents can't cook either. My parents can't cook. My mama, God bless her heart, she cannot cook. Okay, she does not know what salt is. She just don't cook, and I love her to death for it. But when I came over here and I started tasting Elise's food, I don't think there was a night that I left without eating dinner first. After the first night, I was like, okay, this is good stuff. Y'all really have a thing going here. I have a whole list on my phone of all my favorite recipes of hers. So anytime it's up for grabs, what we want for dinner, I go and I scroll, and I'm like, today I want this.
What's one of your favorites?
I can list them
As she scrolls.
as I scroll. You think I'm kidding? You think I'm kidding? This is it gonna focus? Can you see it? My all-time favorite is her balsamic beef. And it's like a roast beef that she puts in a pressure pot. I had it for my birthday. I have it for any special occasion that I'm allowed to. My second favorite is her French dip sandwiches. I dream about those. They're so good. I love food. Look, I may not look like it, but I love food. Okay. And this woman, I don't know that I'm ever moving out. I might, when I get married, I might just make him move in here. Like, I already told her she's cooking for my wedding. Was like, I'll pay you and everything, but you're cooking. And my boyfriend's a chef. So like this is my stuff. I don't even like his cooking.
I hope he doesn't watch this video.
He doesn't know what's happening. I kept this one a secret. Plus, he's at work right now, so who cares? He'll be busy.
So do you use fountain pens to write, or you just make fountain pens? You do? Do you have a favorite?
So this is my first. Hold on, let me line it all back up. Okay, this was my first pen that I ever made. So this is one that I keep in the shop for any shop notes or anything. This one is my new baby. It's a narwhal.
Mm-hmm. Oh, those are nice.
It's one of their ebonite ones. Let's see. This one's not inked, but this was the first one that I ever bought. It's one by Troy Breeding.
Oh, pretty, pretty.
I know. I drooled over it for like 2 days, and then I finally bit the bullet and just did it. And then this was the first pen that I bought. It's a Banu. So this is the first pen that I bought and inked. So those are the ones that I, besides that Troy Breeding one, those are the ones that I write with on a daily basis. I've been practicing. I never learned how to do cursive handwriting or anything, so I've been practicing doing that. Figured I might figure out how to use a fountain pen if I'm going to be making one. I fully told myself that I was never going to get engulfed into this world. I was like, this is crazy. I'll have like maybe 1 or 2 just because I'm a maker, and now like this is a problem. I have this. He's gonna kill me for showing you this one. I have an antique. This is like one of the first pens that Jim ever made and sold to a customer, and at the Dallas show he brought it back. He brought it back, and like the section isn't even fully polished, and this is before he figured out how to do plating and stuff, so the plating is flaking off, and I refuse to change anything about it. Like, ancient.
Wow.
Times. Wonderful.
What did you say? Oh.
I said ancient Hinze because it's one of his older pens. So this one, I don't.
Oh well. Oops.
So
He
it
knows
came
that.
back because it was a return because the nib was flaking, or?
No, actually, it was one of our customers, and I cannot remember who it is, but he was a part of the Dallas Pen Show, and he brought it back, and he was just saying like, look at how far you've come. And he had bought multiple of our pens already, and so he just returned that one. I did do one. There was somebody that asked for their nib to be replated. They had used one of those really chunky, glittery inks that now we tell people not to use with our plated pens because it'll scratch off the plating. So we did do a repair then and replated that nib for him. But no, this one the guy just returned, and Jimmy gave it to me, and now it is my favorite pen in my collection.
Aw.
I think after a while they'll be all your favorite pens. After a while they'll be all of your Because once
They
that
all
little
might
bug
be
bites, it's over.
There was one day that he was running me wild around. I went to the grocery store. I went to go pick up something from Elliot's, and then I went to Target to go grab some of his prescriptions. I just was running everywhere, and I was like, "What do I get out of this?" And he took a pen out of his collection and chunked it at me, and was like, "Go to Target." I was like, "Okay." That's how I've my collection is built as far as it has is people throwing stuff at me.
Did I
Favorite
actually hit
nib
her
that you
on
like
mute?
to write with? Oh, I'm sorry, Larry. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Go ahead, hon. Go on. I'm talking to myself. Go ahead.
No, I was just asking her if she has a favorite type of nib that she likes to write with.
Well, it's one that got taken away from me because we ended up selling it, but it was a stacked nib, and I don't know if anybody's ever seen it. It was a stacked nib. So what they do is they take a nib and they take the very tip of another nib and they solder them together. So you can go from like a double broad and then flip it over and it'll be a super, super extra fine. It is the craziest thing I've ever seen. I'm getting into nib customizations and stuff like that. But that was the craziest thing I've ever seen. And we ended up selling in the sale that we did, we ended up selling it. And so he was like, "Okay, come on, you got to give it back. Like, I'll get you another one." And I was like, okay, I had already inked it and everything. I had to take it apart, wash it out. I was crying the whole time. It was the worst day ever.
Where do you get that nib from? Like, who did you purchase it from?
Oh, I don't know. Let me see if he'll respond. We sold them with the St. Louis pens. That was our big thing this year, was the St. Louis exclusive ink pen, and then we sold it with a stack nib if you wanted one. He might be asleep already.
No, it's okay. I was just curious. Thank you though.
Of course. I'm getting better. I'm horrible with names, and I'm even worse with people. Oh, he's not asleep. Henslaw. That is where we got the stack nibs from. So.
Any other questions? She's got the answers, I think.
Sometimes.
Liz, you got anything else you want to ask her?
Well, she seems to be doing everything there. I mean, do you make the pour of the the resin? The resin. Yeah. The resin, yeah.
I have before. I've learned a little bit. I'm not anywhere near at the level that Elise is. So whenever needed, if like Jimmy needs a solid color or something, I can jump in there and do it for him real quick. But for the most part, that is Elise's area, and we are not allowed to go in it.
Oh, good answer.
She came home one day and just eyed both of us because we were pouring a couple of blanks for something. And she just kind of eyed us, and I was like, "You can yell at him, okay? I'm just here. I'm just the employee. Don't get on to me." I think he got yelled at later for it. We haven't been back in that area since.
Anyone else? So jump in now. Now it's jump in time. Let's jump on her. Okay, we're ready. Everybody's so quiet now. All right, Elise. Rachel. Everybody's about done, I think. So, you want to add anything before we leave?
Just say keep an eye out. We're doing a lot of fun stuff. I think in the Pen World magazine, I believe this month they're launching that we did the collaboration with them for their anniversary pen. So that should be in the magazine this month, if the ladies told me correctly at the show. And then keep a lookout at Atlas Stationers. We're slowly but surely infiltrating their space and doing a lot of good stuff with them. And Dromgles, obviously, we did that collaboration as well. Yeah, we've got a lot of good stuff coming. I'm very excited to see where the company goes. And I'm very excited to see how fast we're growing as well. It's a lot of stress, but it's so much fun, and it brings new challenges every day. Constantly learning.
How long does it take to actually color the nib, whatever color y'all choose, blue, red, green? Is it a long process?
No, we do it. It's got to clean for a minute, and then it sits in the plating solution for another minute, and then it cures for like 30. So
Okay.
it doesn't take long, but we do big batches, and the batches are what take long.
Now, do y'all have offer every night feed?
I want to say that we can. I know that we've done them before. There was a pen. We had one. I know that we've had them. They're not something that we keep in stock, but it's something that we can get our hands on if wanted.
Before I forget, a friend of mine from Hawaii, she ordered a pen and said, very nice.
Awesome.
So there.
I am super glad. I love seeing people appreciate what we do. Because I mean, when I started, I didn't even really have an appreciation for it. You know, it was fun, but people that buy our pens and really fall in love with them, that's one of my favorite things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I have two. No, yeah, two. I have two.
Okay. Go ahead.
Absolutely love them.
I'm definitely that person. I'll see a pretty resin and I'll make a pen out of it, but I don't get attached. Once I see the final product, I'm like, okay, who's like, I just want to see the person that buys it. That's why I love going to shows. I love seeing what people are attracted to. You'll see like the biggest, most buff, manly dude, and he'll come up and pick up a sparkly pink pen, and I'm just like, I know you. And then they always play it off. They're like, oh, it's for my wife. And I'm like, you don't have a wedding band on, but okay. I love it. Pens have become an expression of personality. Something that you can kind of hold on to, even if you have to wear a suit and tie to work every day. You can have a sparkly pen, or you can have, you know, a crazy colored pen with some fun ink in it, and nobody can say anything because it's a pen, you know, but it's a way to express yourself, and I've always loved that.
Liz, did you have a question for?
Sorry, Larry?
Did you have another question?
No, thanks for asking though.
Anybody else?
I don't think so.
Make up one.
Well, do you have any other hobbies outside of pens? Do you like bicycling or, you know, playing
Coffee.
poker on the weekends? I don't know. What else do you do?
Vanilla latte. Yeah.
Over. Let's see. One of my favorite things, because I love hanging out with Natalie. She's 13 and she's so funny. And so we sit there at night and we watch some episodes of Vampire Diaries, and her commentary is the most enjoyable. And And then I've really been getting back into reading. So I listen to a lot of audiobooks while I work. I love getting lost in worlds like that while I work. It's makes the day go by faster.
So Rachel, you listen to audiobooks or music when you work?
Both. I do. It depends on the day. It really does. Right now I'm stuck in this rut with this one audiobook that I've been listening to because it's the 7th in a series of 8, and it's been the same story. And I can't bring myself to turn the book back on. I want to finish it and I want to see how it ends, but I also feel like I kind of already know. So I've been listening to a lot of music recently. And then I love watching paranormal shows, which I hated before I got into this house. But we have a ghost in this house. His name is Fred, and nobody else, me and Natalie are on top of this man, but nobody else believes us. But there's a ghost in this house.
We need to do a seance or something there, paranormal activity.
Oh, we're planning it. Halloween is coming. We have a spirit
Yes.
box, so we try to talk to it. I'm excited.
Wow, heavy. Are you, where you at now?
I'm sorry,
Where are y'all located now? Plano in Dallas or where?
Dallas.
Dallas. Okay, so you're a little bit closer, wouldn't that be, Justin?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'm glad you moved. Too bad y'all didn't move to Arlington.
Arlington isn't far.
Well, I know it, but we're far. Anything's farther to me if it's not outside the front door. So,
Oh no, when
All
I
right, folks.
started working here, I was 40 minutes away. So
all right, folks, before we end it up, last call for Rachel.
Thank you, Rachel, for spending time with us.
of course, thank y'all for
We
coming. I
appreciate it.
never imagined
to
y'all
have
would
you.
want to
Oh.
talk to me so much.
Rachel,
I'm-
any last words you want to say before we go? Who was talking? I'm sorry.
I was looking forward to this.
That's so crazy to me. Like, I've been nervous. I'm like, nobody's gonna want to talk to me. I'm just gonna show up. It's gonna be really weird.
Well, Rachel, it's exciting to see once again a young entrepreneur, and you're approaching this rabbit hole, and there's a lot of fine folks involved with the Pen community, and it's exciting to see you approaching it with the enthusiasm you are, and that's really refreshing. So good luck to you. I hope you dive into it and do well. Just spin them threads truly.
Thank you.
Anyone
So
else?
excited to see another lady on the screen here. Liz was a little late because she had an appointment, but so often it's all guys on this. So I'm really excited to see you hanging out with us tonight.
Thank you. I appreciate
Very
it. I was
true.
excited about this. But it's nerve-wracking. I mean, you know, there's not a lot of us women in the community, let alone making. So it's kind of diving into guys' world, and you never know how you're gonna be accepted.
It's so true.
So far it's been good. So far I haven't had too many crazy people.
If people are surprised when they find out at pen shows that you actually make pens.
Oh, they try to, that's the thing. They try to shove me like, they're like, oh, so you polish, oh, so you pour resin. And I'm like, no, I make the pens. They're like, oh, so you polish. And I'm like, no, that's not what's happening. They try to like shove me over to do, it's almost like they can't wrap their brains around it. And that's just crazy. Like, I don't know. I don't think what I do is that crazy. Like it's my job. It's fun.
Yeah.
But it's so weird. It really is.
Now, before we go, let me just say that I am going to bring on, between now and November, more of the Hinze company staff to interview them on a one-on-one basis. And you can find all this info at mrannouncer.info. Is that right?
Yes.
And also for November, Alicia will be here on a Friday night at 7 p. Central Time. What else is going on? And of course, we're having the new what is it called? The Pen Club.
Fountain Pendulum, the
yeah.
Global Pen Club.
Yeah, that's going to be starting online on the 19th of November. And don't forget, very important month of this month is the color pink. Cancer awareness, breast cancer awareness, in fact. So that's something that's really important. We have some people, you know, I think it's all right to mention names, but then I'm not sure, that are still fighting it, going through treatment, and been through a lot. So I'm seeing if that's going to be set up or not. I don't know yet. I've talked with the Cancer Society in Houston, and so it depends how this other part works out. And if we have it, it'll be on Zoom. So that's happening.
Frank had a question.
Yeah, Frank.
I was just going to tell you that, you know, breast cancer there's people who survive and then they have to deal with the consequences of the chemo. A good friend of my wife's just found out that a large portion of her heart was killed off by the chemo. And she's had a pacemaker put in, but now that explains why she was passing out. They couldn't figure out why she was passing out. And just, you know, just the devastation of cancer just is far beyond what I could even imagine.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, you know, and this lady works every day. She deals with it. She has a family. So before, you know, I will ask her tomorrow. I'll get in touch with her and see if I can mention her name. And if she does, then you'll know who it is immediately. So it might be a bit shocking, but yeah, she's been through a heck of a lot. So what else is going on? Anything you want to say? Well, Miss Elish, I'm sorry. I don't know why I keep calling you Elish. Get in the kitchen and make me something to eat. Turkey and dressing, how's that? Mashed taters and potato salad and some gravy.
I cannot cook. I can make you a grilled cheese. That's about as far as my cooking skills go.
Please. So anyway, anybody else want to say anything before I say au revoir?
Oh, last words, Rachel. Thank you for coming on. Appreciate it. Thanks for opening up to us and what you do for the pen world. And great to see everyone. Lannis, I'm glad to see you. Was down in Florida there, and I guess you're back home and made it safely and doing well. And
Yeah, we survived through Ian. We were down there. We weren't sure quite what was going to go on. We packed our suitcase one night because we thought the river that was just outside our villa might flood over the banks, but we didn't have to leave. But yeah, you know, the parks were closed for a couple of days, and the mess after Ian hit our resort, the trees and the branches and the leaves and groundskeepers have weeks of work cleaning it up. It's unbelievable. But then I made it home on Sunday and promptly came down with, I haven't even been to work this week. I should have been to work this week, but I've been sick with a bad cough. I went to the doctor today and she said, well, I hear some wheezing in your lungs. I don't like that. Maybe you should go for an x-ray because you might have pneumonia. So I don't know if that was from all the moisture and the rain and all that, you know, that we had while we were down in Florida. I think I'm on the mend. And thanks, Will, for checking out on me. I appreciate that.
well, glad you're safe. You were having a little bit of audio problem there, but on my end. But glad you're safe and doing well. And it was great to see everybody. Once again, thank you, Rachel. Appreciate you opening up to us and just throwing your life out there to the wolves. I appreciate it, but you'll do great, girl. Thank you. I appreciate it. We'll see y'all later. Y'all
Thank
take
you.
care.
Bye-bye,
All
everybody.
right, folks, we're going to end it. Hey, Rachel, thanks a lot, baby, and we'll talk to you later, okay? Tell your
Thank
dad
y'all so
thank
much.
you. I mean, your uncle, dad, uncle, brother, whatever. Bye, y'all. See you later.